Indian data is available as peanuts. I think peanuts are expensive.
Hello and welcome to Mobile App Daily Interview Series. I'm your host Meenal Vashisht, and joining me today is Mr. Shailendra Kumar, award-winning author of the book How to Make Money with Analytics, and an evangelist, a veteran in analytics with over 25 plus years of experience, an angel investor. So I would welcome Mr. Shailendra with us, and Mr.
Right.
Shailendra, overarching conversation that's been going about, AI is gonna kill your privacy and all of that. But more in terms of, because you mentioned conversational AI, and very recently, I think a while back perhaps, there was a conversation between Sundar Pichai and on conversational AI. What's your view on privacy when it comes to data in conversational AI, the data gathering in conversational AI?
It doesn't exist anywhere. Do you know that when me and you are talking, every bit of this is logged in a server somewhere on the planet. Our conversation is being logged. And you won't be surprised if I take few names, then you will be offered an offer next week. It does not exist. 2008 or 9. I wanted to meet my CEO. This is a very funny story, right? And you're talking about privacy. I wanted to meet my CEO. So yeah, I was in the senior leadership team, and he was busy, right? So I went to the EA and said, "Can I have an appointment?" She said, "He's very busy this week. Shelly, next week would be a bit difficult. I can get you a week later." I said, "Don't bother." I came back. I knew exactly what time every Friday he goes for his grocery shopping. And I accidentally appeared. And I accidentally had that meeting.
Yeah.
So, where is, I'm telling you, it doesn't exist. This is so many years ago in a different part of the world. But what I'm saying is, in any part of the world, privacy does not exist. Whatever you, in fact, I'll give you an example. Go on Google and search for something.
Sure.
Or even leave that. Go on WhatsApp and talk to someone about something. And you open Facebook.
Yes, that's happened way too many times.
So that conversation between you on WhatsApp with someone has led to that particular offer, which says, "Acha, I was thinking of buying this. Oh, good, I should buy this." You were just thinking. Now, then I'll add another thing to you, and you will not even realize this. If you and me are talking about a printer on WhatsApp, right? And 5 or 6 weeks later, you get an offer on a paper ring. You don't even know that when you were talking about buying a printer led to creating that. So I would imagine that you've bought a printer, and now that you've got a printer, you would need paper.
Yeah.
Right? But your privacy was never breached in any way, because I'm not offering you a printer right outside, but what I'm offering you is paper. So you won't even realize what I've done to you, and suddenly I've offered you a paper deal or a paper discount without you knowing, I've run short of paper.
Yeah, that's a, I would say, a unique approach to thinking about privacy, because not many people link it that way. At least the layman don't.
No, but the reality is, you've got the data. Yeah, people are collecting your data. And consumers, I promise, I bet, actually want you to use that data to give them that experience that is relevant, right?
Yeah.
If it is not relevant, it's just waste of time. And so many times I meet, so I've been in India for the last couple of months, and I'm meeting these guys who talk about analytics and who talk about data analytics and whatnot. And I ask them, how are you? What are you doing these days? They say, and these are senior leaders in organizations. Their job is to sell the data. And I said, that's the worst thing that you can do because you will make no money with that. The money is in making, in those insights, in doing the right thing by the customer. So not selling the data because that is breach of privacy. But doing something that is providing the customer with the relevant recommendations so that they can get value out of it. And that is the key.
Following up on, you know, what exactly, how you describe the breach of data, I'm assuming that you also have a good context of where protection against unwanted sale of data in India is, like in terms of speaking of legislative efforts, and because, like you said, that there's no privacy. My data is there for everybody to just, it's open ended. You can receive it, and then perhaps the company then sells it to another company, as you mentioned. So what's, give me a picture of how safe these transactions are at the moment. What is government's stand in India in terms of protection of data breach?
Indian data is available as peanuts. I think peanuts are expensive. I am being offered 39 crores of names and addresses in India for less than 250 rupees. I can't imagine, I can't even think of that. Well, I don't know what they're talking about. And you can, and they're advertising it. Imagine they are advertising it on Facebook. You get ads saying, oh, I'm selling 40 crores of Indian records. And they've actually segmented it. Okay, I've given you Amex records, I'm giving you banking records, and God knows what. This data is readily available today. I don't know what government is doing about this because this is absolute breach of privacy. So let's talk about data. So I was the chief data privacy officer for a large organization in Australia, and data is at three levels. Number one, you've got sensitive data, which is your name and address. That cannot be shared. That is called breach of privacy if you share that data. The second data is transactional data. Now that's not sensitive. That is numbers. If I share with you, it will be what 0101 502. No one can make any sense out of it, right? So there is sensitive data, there is confidential data, and there is
Transaction.
uh, transactional data. So sensitive data, confidential data would be at a say data at a pin code level, right? Uh, but that should not be shared as well. But imagine someone is sharing sensitive data on Facebook and selling it, names and addresses. This is the highest breach of anyone's privacy.
Do you think that perhaps because India is still lagging behind in terms of data literacy?
No, it's not that. Someone is deliberately, extracting that data and putting in some files. This is not nothing to do with literacy. And if you're saying data literacy, then imagine the guy who's actually copying that file and sending it to someone. He would know what he's doing,
Yeah.
and he should know the repercussion because they're in the industry. They're doing it.
Definitely. Yeah.
So it's nothing to do with data literacy. This is simple, what do you say, stealing of data. And the problem is, it is available freely, is as good as free. 250 rupees for 40 crore records. Can you beat it?
That's unbelievable. That really is unbelievable to me. That's how, I don't even know.
Now, if I tell you that out of that 40 crore records, if I had run a kind of a cleansing activity, I would still be left with around about 20 crores at 50%. 50% authentic records at 250 rupees. My math will go, I can't even calculate that.
Yeah.
And a legitimate record in Australia or US, if they were to sell the records, agreeing with the customer, because you have to agree with the customer before you share it with someone, per record would be around about $25 to $30. Now here you're buying it for less than 10 cents. Well, not 10 cents, sorry. $5 for 20 crore record. One record is more than if the customer agrees and
Yeah.
you've got all bells and whistles in place and you know why you're using the data for. One record, one legitimate record would be around about 25 to $30.
I guess to wrap up, I wanted to end our discussion with, at the current moment, what do you find most exciting? What is something that you're currently looking forward to the most in data analytics, and I would say interchangeably also ML and AI.
At the moment, lots of organizations are working day in, day out to create the data analytics perspective in their organization. The challenge is that they've been driven by a lot of organizations and IT companies who've got vested interest in creation of more data or collection of data, because with collection of data you sell hardware, because you sell storage space, you sell software, but with insights or knowledge you sell nothing. So a lot of these organizations are having a big gap where they're not able to utilize the data that they've been collecting in the past few years. In fact, a few organizations actually reached out to me to say, I run my own live show where I have senior leaders who come in and have a chat with me, and they said the problem is that all these cloud companies, every month they have a target to increase their revenues, and their revenues they're looking at increasing is by selling more hardware, cloud space and software, nothing more. So, but we don't know what is the value we are getting other than collecting the data there and utilizing their softwares. So that area is absolutely left blatant. It's free. People need how to use that data to solve problems, and they don't know how to do that at the moment.